Hello everyone, welcome to this new tutorial brought to you by Techful Tuts. And today's tutorial is going to be about creating a field of particles inside of Adobe After Effects. This can be achieved in Adobe After Effects 7, CS3 and CS4 because we are going to be using one of the built-in plugins, which is CC Particle World, to make this particle field. Okay, so let's start off by creating a new composition. So composition, new comp. Let's just set it to, I set mine to the NTSC D1 widescreen, 4 pixels, 29.97 frames per second, looks good, full 15 seconds, great. Okay, so we have our blank composition here. Okay, great. Now what we need to do is to create a new solid, right click, new solid, and let's make it a dark blue, or well, we can actually make it red. It's good. Never mind. We can actually now go to Effect, Generate Ramp. Okay, so now we're going to choose our start color to be this great blue we're talking about, making more bluish, and our end color to be black. Set to radial ramp. And let's bring this down. Press Shift to maintain its vertical line from the middle. Go out and take this one out. Great. There you go. Okay, so that's what we have. Great. So we have our nice little background. Let's go ahead and rename this BG for background. Okay, so now we're ready to actually make our particles. So right click, new solid, or layer, new solid, and we're gonna name this, there you go, particles, and we can make them, it's important to choose the color right there, so the color you want. So I'll choose some kind of a light blue. Make comp size. Okay, great. So now we have a blue layer. Now that doesn't look so good, really. We want actually to make this look like a particle. We use a plugin called CC Particle World, as I said earlier. Just go to Effect, Simulation, CC Particle World, right there. Okay, so now we have a nice, explosion, volcano-like. Let me put the resolution down to half so it looks run this faster. So that's not really what we want. We don't want to make a volcano. And we have this grid and this thing and that Z looking figure. Okay, we want to take all those things off. So here, grid, and make it off. So now we have only our particles. Now our particles don't look that good. Okay, so let's move down here to the producer. Now we have a X, Y, and Z position. We actually don't want to change it. It's quite nice. That's good where it is, right there in the middle. So we actually want to increase the radius. It's kind of like a box. See, it's a box right there, and we want to increase that box size. So we increase on the X-axis, on the Y-axis as well, and also on the Z-axis. Now, why do you want to put in the Z-axis? If we create a new camera, and we take the orbit camera tool, we can orbit. It's all in 3D. Okay, so we are not going to use a camera for this tutorial. So, if we have our particles, great, but they're shooting out explosively. We want to go down to our physics settings, and we want to change the velocity down to 0, so they just fall, basically, nothing else. Because why do they fall? Simple physics question. Gravity. Reduce gravity to 0, and now we have nothing. We don't see anything because those are lines. Our particles are lines. Now if we go down to the particle, we can change the particle type to maybe lens convex, and we have particles. Now you see at the beginning we have none because they haven't born yet, so they're like fetus. not there, and yeah, labor, great. Now we have a great family. Okay, so we're gonna move this over just a second too, and now we have this. Now we can increase this this layer up here, and so we have all those particles. So let's do a RAM preview. So here is what we have. Okay, that looks a bit good. That looks nice. But imagine we want to give it a bit of life to this whole thing. We want to give it life, or we want to change some settings. For example, make it a bit smaller. We can change the birth size down just a little bit, as well as the death size, maybe. And change the opacity also, because that's a bit too bright. But then you can play around with those settings and see what you can do. Now you can add a, if you go to the physics, you can add some pretty interesting things. So twirl, you can increase the velocity just a little bit to 0.01, for example. And you have some kind of velocity. You see here to kind of move around a bit. So we have a bit of a life to it. See, they can move. We have a bit more life. Then you can add a glow to those particles. So let's go down to Effect, Stylize, Glow. And now we see a nice little glow to those particles. And you can actually play around with settings. So we'll set it right there, Composite Origin on top. Changes to the alpha channel, so it basically takes the alpha channel to render the glow, and let's change the AB colors and change those colors to be like a bright blue here and a white, for example. You can change the glow radius and turn the threshold down so the more transparent particles will actually get some glowiness. So that's how you make a field of particles. And you can add some titles and stuff, and you can add some crazy things to those particles. You can add different slang, different stuff. You can actually change the particle type. For example, if you want to go to a particle, you can change it to like tripolygons. Try that, okay? Field of particles with tripolygons. That is amazing. You can change to bubbles. So I'd like to see someone actually making a bubbles. So leave a video response to something you can make with bubbles. For example, like a fish, and you have those particles emitting. Just play around with settings, play around with all the objects, like null object to make it move. Try to play around. I mean, it won't hurt you. At least I think it won't. And you can have some crazy things here. That's concave and that's convex, so really just the same. Okay, so that's how you make your particle field. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you guys once more, maybe, or more times later on with another video tutorial or tech review. See you guys, bye.